With Mike McLusky handling growing threats from the Colombian cartel, jail corruption, and personal betrayals, this episode intensifies the tension in Kingstown. The film, Sins of Omission, emphasizes Mike's increasing lack of control as his secrets and omissions begin to catch up with him, particularly in light of his brother Ian's renegade behavior. Mike's vulnerabilities are highlighted by the furious action, which combines vicious cartel fighting, jail intrigue, and emotional gut punches. One of the most thrilling episodes of the season thus far, it ends on a terrible cliffhanger that leaves Mike in shock. Mike wakes up in bed with Cindy Stevens, the new jail officer who is turning into a crucial ally, and romantic interest, at the beginning of the episode. Their growing intimacy suggests that she might play a part in later exposing corruption. The tranquility is short-lived, though, as Ian calls to report that the conflict with the Colombian cartel has erupted. A group of Colombians were earlier set on fire by hired goons from Detroit who were connected to Moses' gang, but the Colombians are now retaliating fiercely. In order to destroy Bunny Washington and Mike's enterprises, they are organizing a whole army to invade Kingstown rather than sending a tiny hit squad. Bunny and Mike talk about an uncomfortable alliance, but Bunny foreshadows Mike's possible removal by advising him to create an exit strategy from his position as mayor. Mike's suspicions about Deputy Warden Torres deepen inside the jail. Inmate Jackson, who is increasingly in danger of dying this season, witnesses him smuggling cocaine via gasoline trucks while deep in bed with the cartel. Even worse, it becomes out that Warden Nina Hobbs is a full-fledged schemer who is working with Torres and the cartel to harm Mike. Hobbs even goes up to prisoner Merle Callahan and offers him a lenient sentence in return for his allegiance. This creates a risky situation since Callahan, who is already close to Mike's brother Kyle, who is incarcerated, now poses a direct threat. Hobbs is the season's enigmatic enemy, manipulating events to undermine Mike's power, as demonstrated by her corruption. In a memorable storyline, Ian, Mike's irascible brother and police chief, steals the show. Ian becomes frustrated with Mike's lack of transparency, particularly about the Detroit mob's presence in Kingstown, and learns that Mike is hiding important information, such as failing to alert law authorities to the impending threats in Detroit. Enraged, Ian launches his own uncoordinated, aggressive plays against the Colombians behind Mike's back. This includes a poorly executed hit that intensifies the unrest and attracts unwelcome federal scrutiny. Ian's concern about federal prosecutor Evelyn Foley, a new cast member, and the video evidence that connects him to a previous murder is connected to his subplot. In a stressful sequence that symbolizes the chaos, bricks physically begin falling from the sky, as Mike tries to figure out who is targeting Evelyn, possibly rival Robert or Ian himself. When Mike finally receives the information he has been pursuing since episode 1 thanks to Cindy's insider access, the emotional core is struck. Heartbreaking revelation, Callahan was purposefully put in the cell adjacent to Kyle, taking advantage of the rapport he has developed with the former police officer. Kyle's susceptibility increases, and Callahan is now ready to coerce him into questionable things, such as betrayals or cartel hits. With Jeremy Renner's performance gleaming in quiet, seething rage, Mike's response is pure anguish. It's a heartbreaking moment that highlights his shortcomings as a protector. In a heartbreaking scene, Kyle gives Mike a fist bump through the jail glass, but there is a sense of impending peril. Through Cindy's intelligence, the climax reveals to Mike the prison's whole involvement in the cartel fight and Callahan's threat to Kyle. With an impending cartel invasion, Hobbs plotting from within, Ian acting independently, and Kyle in the crosshairs, Mike is left alone and his hold is eroding. This, calm before the storm, sets Mike up for a last-ditch effort, probably to get muscle from Moses at the expense of his independence. It raises the question of whether Mike's sins of omission will ultimately bring him down, setting up dramatic ramifications. All things considered, Episode 4 is a showcase for Jeremy Renner, fusing intense action with heartbreaking drama. It demonstrates that the severity of Season 4 has increased, making Kingstown seem more unstable than before. The prison revelations and Ian's storyline make this a must-watch if you're binge-watching Paramount+. Which team did you think Ian betrayed, Team Mike or Team Rogue?